Therapy, hey! Let's be having therapy. I mean, where are we? Welcome to United Real Therapy, people. I'm your host, Mr. Structure. Hey, there's no structure at this football club, I tell you. If there was, all the clownish statement FC will not be happening. But big up to every one of you. Please smash a like. And congratulations to Therapy Army for reaching 8K. Congratulations to every one of you. And none more than so people like Khalees Ramadan Lassie. Big up to you, brother. Leave a like on your way in, people. That's how we go. More statements than next year. Woo! That's what it's been, people. I'm telling you, that's what it's been. I swear, we're gonna Manchester United have more statements, or players who play for Manchester United or registered footballers of Manchester did more statements than Manchester United have in goals and wins this season. And there's only four gone. But that's where we are, people. Love and like, people. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. And congratulations to the Therapy Army. Therapy Army, big up to you for the 8K. Love and like. That's what we are. The community is the community. And at the end of the day, it's what it is. Tom, let me know if you want to jump on. Let me know. I'll send you the link. Love and light. But yeah, we're going to get into the crux of it. Big up our sister Sophia Talks Football. Make sure you go and check out her channel. Make sure that you give her a subscribe. Make sure you watch her videos, man, because we need more women covering football, man, because football is not a non-binary thing. Women have been shut out for a long time, but now they're here. So we need that to happen. So make sure you go and check her out. We've just absolutely just finished the Straight Jacket podcast 246. And yeah.
Big up.
Big up, man. You know what? Saeed literally borrowed the Therapy Army tagline. Netflix FC. Here we go.
Yeah, there we go, man. That's what I'm saying. You guys named it. So big up to the Therapy Army. You know what I mean? Big up to you, by the way, 8K.
Yeah, how you doing, bro? Big up. Yeah, man. It's a Therapy Army, bro. That's it. It's a congratulations to the Therapy Army, man. Because at the end of the day, that's what we are. We don't clickbait. We don't chase clout. We're not that type of channel. We just substance-based. We stick to the issues that are at hand. And that's all we do.
That's it.
So big up to you.
But that's how you doing, bro? Man. I'm all good, man. You know what I mean? I came out today. I was on the way to the gym, and then he was just started chucking it down, man. Absolutely chucking it down, mate. It was crazy, man. But you know what I mean? I got a bit of a tan on the weekend. A nice little weather. I actually enjoyed it. When I look at it, the heat in London though was very, very bad though, man. It's very, very it's not natural heat. It's because of the pollution and the fact that body heat. So it wasn't natural heat. So it felt a bit kind of like weird and the texture wasn't nice. But other than that, I can't complain, man. Good weekend. And then obviously back to the reality of Manchester United, innit? That's what we are, innit? You know what I'm saying? And we delve into the matters and the world of man. Maybe, you know what I was thinking here? Someone needs to be a philosopher or what do you call it? Someone who studies Man United. You know how we do reports in sociology? Maybe someone needs to do a report on Man United and how they are. I know we talk about Glazeonomics and you have a book for Glazeonomics, but you know what though? When you look at it, someone needs to write a study on Man United and the football club that it is. You know?
Yeah. Saeed, help me understand this. Big up Vincent. He says, "Hi, I can't remember your name, but I will call you by Mr. Name and Shame." Mr. Name and Shame. Big up. Love and light.
Nah, I don't know. I don't know what he means, but big up, man.
Big up. Big supporter from Nepal. Yeah, but big up to all the Nepalese people, man.
Big up Nepal, man.
One day the dream is to come to go to Nepal, man. Big up. Climb Everest. Big up Steve Ace. Manchester United sale is very much on. Sources close to the Glazer family again deny claims that the process to sell Manchester United have been shelved by Tom Moggs. I don't know, but big up. Yeah, let's hope he's on. Because at the end of the day, Saeed, Manchester United cannot be this joke of a football club. This can't continue forever, can it? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
No, it can't, man. It can't. It generally can't.
This can't.
You know what I mean? It won't, but I think it is just it's a machine, isn't it? It's a machine that just keeps on, churning out, endless bad negativity and just in general, very, very bad toxic energy, Nobody wants to have this toxic energy nowadays. I don't think anybody wants this for anybody. But Manchester United right now are just keep on giving us this feeling. And ultimately, there's nothing much we can do about it. We have to endure it. It's been 10 years of it. You know what I mean? But I feel like the last 3 years have been so bad. Since the Super League, I don't think it's been as bad as this. Like, I know it was bad before in terms of when Glazers were here and just in general, Woodward era was bad because we were buying players that weren't really linked with us. When you look at the era right now, Nuruddin, it's been relentless now, man. Like the Greenwood situation, that one was like, boy, that we just got over that. How can you get over a Greenwood scenario or a situation that happened here, and then you get back into this one, which again, it's still a bad situation, and then you got the Anthony situation that happened. Like everyone's got their own problems. Everyone is like they're almost knocking on the door saying, "I need to be involved in this problem. Like I want to be involved. How can I be involved
You
in
know
this
what? Shout
problem?"
out. You know that. You know the thing that goes around in African Twitter. I need problems. I want problems.
Yeah.
I want problems.
I want problems. I don't want peace. I want problems.
You
That's
know
what they
what?
say.
Manchester United do not want peace. They want problems, man. As long as the Glazers own this football club, problems were going to arise, people. Because when you have a toxic football club, that's where it's going to go. But we're going to get into it. So big up to Tom. Yeah, Tom, I've sent a link already. Big up Sophie. Sophia Talks Football. Make sure you go and check her channel out. Big up everybody. Love and light. It says here, big up Eagle Eye. Big up my brother. There's a big up Nuri Saeed. A while. Mad busy. Hope you're all blessed.
Big up.
Richie, love and light, brother. Big up. Make sure it's really Crystal Palace supporters. Let people know about if you know any Crystal Palace, make sure they have to go and check out Eagle Eye Football, man. The brother, absolutely what they do is brilliant. Love.
Big up Eagle Eye,
nothing but love, yeah. Khalees, big up. Like I said, therapy, I'm big up. Let's get to Alien Senator says, cost of United Netflix has gone up to £20 a month.
Bro, I'm telling you.
Because of United Netflix has gone up £20 a month, you know.
Bro, 20 quid, mate. I'm telling you, man. It's mad. We have to get the dodgy box instead now. You know what I mean? No, United, they need to get the dodgy box. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yo, it's mad, innit?
Gosh.
And listen, shout out Pogba, man. His goes from bad to worse, innit? His body's falling apart. Next minute now. Apparently, breaking news. Big up Khalees from that's breaking news. Pogba has tested positive for doping. Traces are just found from the Udinese Juventus game on 20th of August. Report. Okay. We'll see. You know what I mean? He'll have to come out and answer those charges, but hold tight, Pogba. And hold tight. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Big up,
brother,
big up,
his
brother.
Cursed
Always
him, man.
love.
Brother,
yeah, man.
His brother cursed him, innit, man? That's what happens, man.
Yeah. This is what happens. Scott McTominay has turned down the Fulham move because he's pushing for him on deadline day. Wow, Scott McTominay, you know. Man like things he wants to play in the Champions League. There were issues with Harry Maguire personal.
People want to be part of it, though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
People are not leaders. They want to be followers, innit? And that's what Scott McTominay is, man. He just wants to be part of something. I mean, rather than being the leader of Fulham, man. Like, go guide Fulham to wherever they want to be, man. Like, go make a career. You're 27 now. You're 27 this year. Make a career, man. Don't know what you keep messing around for.
Honestly, it is what it is.
Big up, Tom.
Yeah, big up, Tom, man. Tom, how are you? Can you hear us? Are you in the Seven Hills? Is it come down? Is it raining or is it still baking?
No, it's raining up there. It's raining now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, mate. How are you?
Yeah. Not doing bad. I don't know if Nuruddin can hear me or not, or if he's reading comments, but yeah.
I think
big
he
up
can
as always. Yeah, big up as always, everybody. And Therapy Army, congratulations. 8K. Still got another 2 to go,
man, nearly there.
Come on, people.
Yeah, man. Big
Let's
up.
Get to 10.
Big up. And this thing about McTominay being wanted by Bayern Munich, we're not interested in him. Thomas Tuchel was. There's a big difference.
Wow.
There was a big difference, but it is.
If only Thomas Tuchel had a say, man, in that football club, man. You know what I mean, we could have got rid of him.
Yeah. Listen, we're gonna get into it. We've got a big week ahead coming up. Saturday, Manchester United, 3:00. Another 3:00 maybe Saturday. It's gonna be interesting.
Love it. I love 3:00 kickoffs.
Yeah, how many?
I love it, man. We got a lot, you know. We've got Crystal Palace. We got a lot coming up. And I think the Burnley games are 8 p.m. on a Saturday. But other than that, the home games are pretty much are going to be 3:00 kickoffs. Wow, so I don't mind that, man. Yeah, I mean, you get there early, you get back early. So, listen, I think it's the worst game to come back to, man, at home to Brighton against a footballing team when majority of their team are probably still not full internationals. I think only Estupiñán, maybe a couple of the players are full internationals or play for their national teams. Most of them will be on the fringes of not on the international team. So you know what? They'll be back and they'll be playing their fluid football. Whereas most of our team are actually on duty. So, you know, it's probably the worst team to come back to. You know, when you got players coming back from South America and all these places, the worst thing you could do is have a team that is not to get. Imagine that, right? No Anthony back, possibly no Sancho, and you've had Lisandro and a couple of the South American guys coming from abroad, and just going straight into it. Like, what does Ten Hag do when you got a guy who's De Zerbi, who doesn't have much internationals going out there, and then can almost like, you know what, can get his game plan ready? I think it's very, very tricky, man. That's why if we win 1-0 on a Saturday, I generally couldn't be bothered. I want to win. Just get the win against Brighton and move. And then I can think about the performances after that. Because it's one of them where a lot of turmoil happened. We just need to win on Saturday. I think for me, the worst thing that United could do is lose the game. If they lose the game, boy, not only just the pressure on Ten Hag mount, but also everything around it. You start hearing leaks, you start hearing stories. Why wasn't that play? What, you know? So it's very, very imperative United win by all costs on Saturday, because that's the only thing you can kind of hope on to is just winning games. You know, as much as we are a Circus FC.
I mean, on the one here, just say one note. Big up to Tom. And I'll get you to come in, Tom. And it says here about Sancho. On the player side, Sancho properly feels Eric Ten Hag's different ideas at his starting 11. That's why he's not motivated, but it's normal in football, right? So if Manchester United want to get rid of Jadon Sancho, him training with the kids ain't going to get, because that's going to devalue the player. That's going to devalue the price of the player. So getting him back in the team and then sorting this out in January is the only way. But I want to mainly focus, guys. We've done that on the Straight Jacket podcast. We've talked about the Sancho Anthony, the circus, the Netflix, the drama. But I want to focus on the importance of these two games. Tom, Manchester United, I've had more statements, more talk off the pitch than they've had on the pitch. Manchester United currently sit 11th in the Premier League. Say that, you can say that. Yeah. With that, you can caveat that and say it's only 4 games gone, right? So let's not panic, FC, here, right? 4 games have gone. But we've got a big weird head. We've got a big Champions League, big European night away at Bayern Munich. And then we've got Brighton, little old problem Brighton, who actually won last season at Old Trafford. So, is it time for Manchester United to start speaking with their feet on the football pitch? And how do you think they're going to do that? How do you think they're going to do that?
Well, put it this way. we're gonna have to see if Ten Hag's really had a bit of a reset after certain statements, and he's had the international break really to reassess what he's got, really, because you had the January window shut down, and then obviously you had the final game, and then you've obviously then gone into international break. So he knows the base of his squad. He knows what he's got. He's got nothing else to gain. Nothing else is going out the door. So what he's got now, he's got until January. So really, we need to see some form of a plan. We need to see a philosophy now, really. We need to see the idea of, why did you bring Andre Onana in? Like, what sort of passing angles are you going to use? We need to see, Højlund now. He's had a couple of games away on international duty. He's had the minutes. He's also been with the squad for now. He'll have been, in Manchester anyway, and adapting really for a couple of weeks. We need to start seeing players start hitting the ground running, really, if you're going to start them week in, week out. And I think really the big question of everybody's mind is how he's going to handle the Anthony dilemma on the right wing. Maybe if Mr. Jadon Sancho didn't pipe up like he did on social media, then he might have got his wish and he might have got 5 or 6 games. And then nobody can, and then you couldn't really argue to say, well, boss, they haven't been given the chances in the team. But look, I think at the end of the day, with these, upcoming 2 games, I would definitely say the Brighton game we have to win. Absolutely, we have to win. Going away in Europe, like to big grounds against big teams, listen, I'd take a draw and I'd move on from it, like we did with the Camp Nou last season with Barcelona. Take a draw and bring them back for the second leg. But going away to big games, like you only have to go away once to Munich in the group stage. It's not a bad scenario, really, with the rest of the group, because I think we can really fight for. I don't think we'll struggle to get out of the group as much as maybe we have done in recent years. I think second spot is nailed on if we can't get first, but it's Man United, isn't it? So, but no, yeah. I think especially anyway, just with the Brighton game, as much as Saeed says, listen, I'll take a draw. I'm not taking any draws. I'm fed up with this. I'm fed up with going to games where this season where we're always thinking negatively. We're thinking, oh, we'll take a draw away at Spurs. We'll take a draw at Arsenal. No, let's go and fucking win. I want to see an absolute batter of a performance. I want to win. You're playing against, as Saeed said, a footballing team. So I want to see something different. They're going to sit on the halfway line with Louis Stunk and Joe Veltman. So let's play some balls in behind. If you want to play this transitional attacking football, do it then, Mr. Erik ten Hag. Let's see it. Because Brighton, I'd say, out of maybe 2 or 3 teams in the league, there's 2 or 3 teams that you can play this transitional football against that are made for you to play against. One of them's Brighton, one of them's Manchester City, and the other one's Arsenal. And you played Arsenal the other week and you got battered. So for me, you've already had one hit against Arsenal to show this transitional football, and you didn't. Brighton's a new example. And we need to see some... If we're going to see what we've been seeing for the first 4 games, I'm really concerned because Ten Hag's had 2 weeks now to assess the squad and know what he wants to prepare for this Brighton game. He's had 2 weeks to prepare, realistically, what he wants to do. So we want to see some implementation of the style of play, or as he says, they want to be the best transitional football team in the world. I want to see it then. So for me, I'm not here for any of this drawing. I'd rather, honestly, if we go out there and we actually play to the last whistle and we play to the sword and we brought on a brilliant performance, but we lost the game, I can accept that. But I'm fed up of drawing. I'm fed up of going Spurs away, Arsenal away. Oh, let's just take a draw. No, let's win. What happened to Manchester United standards about winning? Winning in any game. We're shitting ourselves with Brighton coming to Old Trafford. It's laughable.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
It really is laughable. So,
but football is a humbler, isn't it? Football is a humbler, mate.
Yeah, it's if
you don't get your ducks in order,
especially when we don't play in the conviction or the style of play that everyone's hoping for right now. I think that's what's the key thing. We're not really confident. We don't really actually know what sort of football we're going to play against Brighton. You know, I mean, we don't know if it's going to be counter-attacking. We don't know if it's going to be aggressive counter-pressing. We don't know if it's going to be a situation where we win the ball high up the pitch and we start overloading. And you know what? To a certain extent, we have played some good football under Ten Hag, but it hasn't been consistent. So when you actually deep it, like, we don't know, like, what's going to happen. We actually don't know. You know, that's the kind of, for me, the worrying bit is, and that's why I say, when you come off the international break, I don't think it's about the manner in which you win. It's about if you win. If you win, then everyone's like, yeah, man, we come back, no problems. But if you then lose after a bit of a layoff, then the next game becomes even more pressure. So the next game we play would be Bayern, and then you lose Brian, and then you got Burnley away. Then if you lose to Burnley away, it's a crisis. If we're not in a crisis already, that will be a crisis, because then it's like when you can't win against Burnley. So it's imperative, like you said, Tom, like, we've got to win. We've got to win on Saturday. And it shouldn't be a case of we should be worrying. But the thing is, though, the last time we lost at Old Trafford was against 2 in the Premier League.
Right.
Yeah, but I think Ten Hag's looking. If Ten Hag needs a motivational stick, that's what he can use.
Yeah.
To say, listen, these lads turned you over last year, and ever since then, we've never lost at home. We've been consistent throughout. Even when we've been 2-0 down to Leeds, we've found a way to come back and draw. Same thing with the Forest game. We're 2-0 down. We found a way to win, and we need to have that same motivation going into the game. But boy, look at it from this perspective. The biggest criticism for me from this game, I swear to, if we have one more injury, if that defence has one injury against Brighton, mate, we're going to Munich. Mate. Listen, we laughed at Arsenal when they got peppered over there, 10-0 on aggregate, mate.
Why?
To be fair, I'm not going to lie to you.
Hold tight.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
I'm not going to lie to you. I've been quite disappointed. Can anybody tell me if Leacher played, or was he on the bench, or did he play for Argentina? Let me know in the comments.
He's playing tonight, isn't he? He's playing tonight. You know what they're playing? They're playing in the Bolivia, which apparently
high altitude.
Yeah, so I just hope they come in good health and good condition. Him and Garnacho. You know what I mean?
Seen the oxygen tanks that they've been given to cope with the altitude. They've been given oxygen tanks. Yo, big up. I think it's
I don't understand it, but if you're from there, do you kind of like
your body of course adapts. Yes.
Yeah. But obviously for people that yeah.
So when you're visiting though, It can make you dizzy, bro. That's why Bolivia's got a
Busy.
decent record there. They got a decent record because they take everybody to the mountains, bro. You want to play? Come play in the mountains. Let's
Come
see.
to the mountains, yeah. Bro, that's crazy.
Listen, it's what it is. Pick up Jarvis Cocker, aka Rick Astley. Never gonna let you down. Hey, pick up Jarvis. He says, I asked Saeed this yesterday. Will Ten Hag get back by the board if he wants Sancho out? Asset or integrity? What will the backers do? Well, I'm sorry, Jarvis. It's too late now. It's too late. They should have done that. They should have. There was still time left in the only transfer. They should have sorted out a loan again. Because at the end of the day, the manager, you have to back the manager in the situation. But they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. And the question what we're asking here, we're not going to come to that section. So I'm going to start this and we'll come back to it. This is that Sancho, will Sancho get his head down, but we'll come to it. But listen, let me know in the comments, people. I want to know genuinely what's going on in the comments. I want to know, how do Manchester United go and win this game? How do they go and win this game? Big up Black Confetti. Yeah, we know about Paul Pogba. If he found guilty, it will be handed 4-year suspension. So check this out. Pogba has tested positive for testosterone and is now waiting until
he has to produce his own sample and his own results, and then if he doesn't, and then obviously if it's still positive, then obviously he will then be obviously It's sad. It's sad, man. Really, really is sad. But again, like I said to you, man, it's not our play anymore, but it is very, very sad, man, because again, his career since the injuries and just the Paul Pogba. I don't know if you've seen this interview as well about his brother, the way he's been witch hunt, and he's saying that, I don't even want money anymore. And he's kind of questioning his football career, and you know what I mean? So it's very, very sad ending to his career, you know what I mean? But listen, man, we've got bigger problems than that, man. At our football club, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. We've got big, big problems, man. So I wish him all the best, Paul Pogba, man. I've always got love for Paul Pogba.
No, we always, good players. We do. We wish any player, to be fair, any player well, not just Paul Pogba, but any player who's going through stuff like that, who goes through with family and dynamics and everything. And it's just money, innit? Money ruins people, innit? Money drives people crazy. But I just genuinely know how Manchester United are going to go and do this. Big up Mick, is the Man UFC team. Big up finally football content, tired of Brazilian soap opera. Opera Alcantara. Well, it is what it is. It is Brazilian soap opera. I mean, even though it's serious allegations, but I couldn't help but stop laughing when you started reading out the statement from the text message between Anthony and that woman.
Man.
Because it just reads like a funny thing. And shout out whoever said that Saeed was reading Shakespeare.
Bro, I'm telling you, man, because that was hard to kind of understand in school, man.
What statement?
The Anthony WhatsApp messages that he revealed on social media on Instagram.
Yeah, listen, for people who want to know, go and check it out. Saeed TV. Let's go to 100K on the road to getting one of the most hard-working YouTubers out here. 3 shows a day for people, man. So go and check him out. Saeed TV across all socials. Go and check out Straight Jacket Podcast 46.
Yeah.
But I say it simple. How do Manchester United grind down? It is a perfect opportunity for the football, for the players, Eric Ten Hag and the players, to answer all the circus, to dispel all, to silence the circus. Have they got that opportunity side? Because football is about what happens on the football pitch. And not everything outside of the football pitch affects it. But that is what we're at. That is what we're at. So how do that? Do you expect from Ten Hag? I know I asked it, but how do they do it? How do you go around that? Do you go?
Well, obviously, that's you winning your games. Winning your games. You have to win your games. Obviously, you have to control what's happening on the football pitch. As much as I think, even on the football pitch, with the sort of situation with Sancho, it's very, very difficult to even have a sort of positive. Because you know what it is, yeah. The game against Arsenal, I think we lost that game. I don't think anybody was mad at Man United in terms of, losing the game. I thought it was a fair effort, and we tried our best. And you know what? We came across ourselves quite well in terms of the way we approached the game. But then obviously that situation kind of went in there, and obviously it made everything 10 times worse. The feeling was already we were dejected, and then you had that Sancho situation in there. Now, Ten Hag's role now is he's thinking, if I win a game, is there going to be some sort of any backlash after the game? Is anyone going to speak after the game? But then the comments, what will happen is you got to realize the comments, the media will be trying to get little sound bites. Because when you Man United win, yeah, it's not good for these little crony journalists, is it? These guys. It's not good though. When Man United win, yeah, they're thinking, hold on a minute, what can we find? Any negative we can find here? Is there any good? And that's why when they ask a question, Ten Hag's got to say, yo, what he did at the start. He was very stern with the media. You know, he was like, yo, I'm not giving you anything. I think at the start, did these journalists come out and say, oh, you know what, they don't really like Ten Hag's behavior, or they started making some reports about his behavior
Yes.
Yeah.
you know, so
I mean,
they were kind of
that clown Simon Jordan came out after him because what he was wearing.
you
Like
see what
it's
I
a
mean?
fashion show. Like Eric Ten Hag is here
Yeah.
to be a fashionista. He's come to manage Manchester United, not come to become a fashionista. And he started going, oh, the jacket looked too big on him, this and that. Like, that's what I'm saying, that the levels. A big up next says, maybe Ten Hag should send Sancho to the mountains instead.
Nah, that's crazy. That's crazy. But listen, I hear it. No. The training regime will be crazy over there, I'll tell you that. But you know what, though? Like, obviously, and that's why it's so imperative United win, but then we also have drama-free, like, you know, Bruno Fernandes doesn't walk off the pitch sulking, or anybody's, like, giving backlash. Like, this is what I'm saying, like, I feel like it has to be the smooth, like, and I know there will be situations where we'll have protests and whatnot, and that, again, you know, we always should strive at it. But it's like, I think on a certain day, like the game against Brighton, I think everyone needs to just be quiet. Everyone needs to be chilled out. We go home, everyone's smiling. Nuruddin, bye-bye, back to your house. Tom, good day. You're coming back on the match reaction, Nuruddin, on Saturday. And you just want to talk about the game. I think this game just needs to be talking about the game. And we could go to the Bayern game thinking, right, you know what, let's have it. Bayern, Champions League feeling, good to be back. If we lose, obviously it's no disgrace lose to Bayern, who are, you know, very home. But at the same time, just needs to be very calm after the game. Get the win, and we just move on. No injuries, no nothing. Just win the game. That's all it is for me. Because what happens when you have an injury is it's not even an injury. It's about someone they overtrained, or something happened where they didn't go to. Yeah, we'll find a story as to why that person got injured, and it won't be a good reason. Yeah, it won't be. Yeah, exactly. Like, it'll be a situation where that player did that, and you know what, he did this in training, and Ten Hag told him to do this. They'll find these journalists will find a story as to why he got injured. Why? You're not selling us papers. You need to sell me papers. If you can't do this, I can't put this on my report. It's not newsworthy. You know, sometimes journalists don't have newsworthy articles, so they don't put them out. You know, whereas we as content creators, we actually win, lose or draw. We're talking about every game. We look at it as to what it is in black and white. We don't try and create a kind of an agenda behind it. We just call it as we see it. You know, that's how it is at the minute. You know, we want United to win.
Yeah, big up TJC. He said, I'm probably on my own, but I have the feeling we're going to win. If Brighton try and press like Arsenal, I think we're able to deal with it. It's just moving the ball around the midfield. Tom,
but I'm confident about the home form. I think for me, United at home, I'm not saying I'm not worried about Brighton. I think they can cause problems, but I feel at ease when I'm at home, even though we lost 2-0 at home at the start, and 2-0 away from 2-0 at the start of the game, and obviously we came back into it, and Wolves wasn't easy. But I still think there's a bit of the crowd, man. People need to respect the Old Trafford crowd. We helped this team, you know. When you actually when you're just in the stadium, you actually realize like the crowd just get on top of the players, man. They don't have it anymore. They will not tolerate people not trying or people not giving it their all. Like, they demand now. That's one thing that Old Trafford now has done better in terms of when we used to go 1-0 down, the crowd would just go flat and just kind of go silent. But now we're still singing songs. We're still trying to, you know, bring the fans up for it. So I think the crowd have been a big reason as to why Man United have had a good record. Even in the Man City game. Remember, the Man City game was a weird game because Man City were having a lot of the ball and they were dictating, but the crowd were just still lifting them. And obviously, you know, with that hope, you kind of, you know, you back your team and you push your team. And I think a lot of the players have mentioned that this season. You know, Varane, Bruno's mentioned it about the crowd. So, but again, listen.
12th man, we have to turn up, innit? The 12th person, innit? We have to turn up.
Yeah.
Definitely we have to turn up on Saturday. Tom, what do you think the players are thinking? what do you think after all this? Do you think the players are thinking, wow, this storm? And obviously, I can clearly, as soon as Brazil dropped Anthony, Man United to do the same for me. It's simple. It's about the optics at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But what do you actually think the players are thinking? Do you think the players are thinking, let's get back in here? And you know what? Nobody actually plays well when they come back from international because players have been flying and emotionally being with your home national team, with your national team, and seeing relatives, seeing all of that can take you emotionally traveling back. So I'm not expecting a great game. I'm definitely not expecting a great game.
No.
But what do you think the players? How do you think the players are feeling and looking at this? Or do you think they're just thinking this has got nothing to do with us, the circus? We're just going to play a game, and that's all that matters.
Well, I think the sort of leadership characters within the dressing room, they're going to have to unite the team, really. I think when they get back to Carrington as a whole group in preparation for Brighton, they're going to have to do some sort of a team hustle at the end of the day. They're going to have to say, look, at the end of the day, as the leader of the team, or whatever, say Bruno Fernandes, let's actually have a stable group. Listen, what's happened with Anthony is what's happening. He's our teammate, we'll support him, do whatever with him. But he's at arm's length from the football club. That shouldn't be our main priority focus. Our priority focus should be game after game, week in, week out. And the next game is Brighton. We know how Brighton want to play. We need to be on it from minute 1 to minute 90. And at the end of the day, this theory that United and the standards of it is shocking. The last time I remember Manchester United playing a solid, and I mean from minute 1 to minute 90, where they absolutely took the piss out of the opposition team, was Spurs 2-0 last season. That was the only time for a full 90 minutes we were absolutely destroying them, and we should have smashed them 4-5-0 easily. And when I look at the players personally, I look at certain players who have sort of the affiliate. We know the affiliation to some players. You know, Rashford and Sancho, I'm sure, are pretty tight and pretty close knit together as friends, and you'll have it with a couple of the Brazilian and Portuguese lads who'll be close to Anthony. So there is going to be those sort of connections, but I think the captain in this case, Bruno Fernandes, has got to play a big hand in it. I think a lot of the major leaders within the group, the Casemiros and stuff, have to stand up and have some sort of account towards the team. But I'll even say it from even players like Marcus Rashford. Like, listen, you are a leader in this dressing room now, Marcus. You're not that young boy that burst on the scene 7-8 years ago. You are one of the experienced players in this squad, and there's other players around you that they're going to need your support and help at the end of the day. And the thing for me, if we were basing it off of international duty experience, I tell you who would be on my first team sheet anyway. Eriksen straight away. What a good 2 games he's had, and he looks so more refreshed actually in the game. And what a couple of games can do with you, because he's not really consistently played toward the start of the season. What a good couple of games can do for a player's confidence. Even McTominay away with Scotland is the same thing. If you want to try and reintegrate him into the squad, but look, I think at the end of the day, personnel's personnel, but there's 2 people that are going to have the major influence to really landslide this, and that's the captain first and foremost, which it is this manager's captain, Bruno Fernandes. It's who he's chosen, not like from last year. And we know with Ten Hag anyway, he can galvanise this dressing room. This dressing room was it was a nervous wreck. When they lost 4-0 to Brentford, we was all sitting there like, listen, it's going to be a long season. That's what everybody was thinking. But that game against Liverpool changed something. And do you know what? Yeah. Just as what you guys said about the actual stadium and the fans in the ground, that game in particular, there was a shift. That was really, I think, the start of the Erik Ten Hag era. Where, do you know what? No teams are going to come to Old Trafford and take the piss out of us. You're not going to come here and, pass the ball around like they were doing under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We held 5 with Liverpool. Pep took it easy on us in 2-0 training session over the road at Manchester. At the end of the day, so I think when you said that about the fans and the atmosphere, it's true. And I think for a big club like Manchester United, you need to have that. And at the end of the day, you can support a player to the hills. Whoever starts on the pitch, regardless of what you think of them, you support them no matter what. But you can criticise them, absolutely. Nobody's above criticism. But for me, Erik Ten Hag has to galvanise this dressing room now. And I think he's had 2 weeks away. He can assess what he wants to do with Jadon Sancho. the decisions are, I think, been really, if I'm being honest, I think it was taken out of his hands with the Anthony situation. That was more the club than I think Ten Hag. So he's had 2 decisions, one of which has been sorted for him. The other one in Sancho, I think he's going to deal with in whatever capacity he chooses to. But he knows how to galvanise this group. And I don't necessarily think it's just Erik Ten Hag. I think he's got a good coaching staff with him as well. Michel van der Gaag, I think, is a very respectable coach within the training ground. No 6 languages, so he'll know the personalities of the group. He'll be a good influence. Steve McLaren, been around for years, knows the club's furniture inside and out. So these characters, as well as Erik Ten Hag, it's on the coaching staff, but it also the leader players, and they need to unify. And I guess final point, when we're going up against a team like Brighton, they are unified. And as what Saeed said, where these players, not a lot of them are internationals, they'll still have been training for 2 weeks. 2 weeks flat. And they'll have had preparation with their manager for this particular game. And this is their FA Cup final. This is their revenge. Beat Man United on their own turf. That's what they want. And at the end of the day, if you're not on it, I tell you now, the way Brighton play, you're either 3-0 down or you're 3-0 up. That's how odd of a team that they are. And it depends really what day you turn up on.
100%, Tom. Big up. Alien Tenor says, I'm wearing adult nappy on Saturday at OT.
Alien Tenor, man. Funny guy.
Listen, it is, yeah. Oh, God. Here we go. It's a bit of this breaking in it as we speak. Juventus midfield has been now professionally suspended.
Yeah, suspended.
Yeah. So it's crazy. It's what it is. Hey, listen, it's an opportunity for the fan base who took a battering because all our rivals are laughing at us. But, you know, I always said we're a joke. By the way, there's 230-something of you in here. Smash a like on the video. We're not even 150 likes. It's an absolute joke. It costs you absolutely nothing, people. It costs you nothing. Give yourself a like. Give yourself a pat for tuning in. We could be out here. I could be out of cinema, man. It's rainy. Back to rainy settings.
Yeah, watch the Equalizer. Watch the Equalizer.
Watch the Equalizer. I watched it last night. I went to
did you go?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, man. Quality film, man. Quality film.
Yeah. Big up Denzel in it. The lines, mate. The lines.
Yeah.
The lines,
this guy,
mate.
man. He's a madman. He's an absolute madman.
Yeah. The lines are the lines in it. Big up Denzel. Equalizer. And if you know people. I used to watch the TV program, and guess what the actor was called? Ed Woodward. Ed Woodward.
Did he get caught?
Was he called Ed Woodward? Yeah, it's called Ed Woodward. I'm sure he's called that. I'm genuinely. I'm not making this up. Listen, let's talk about a bit of this actually. The big up William Colony says Southgate picks Maguire as the player who doesn't get minutes. That's why he's comfortable to sit on the backside, stealing living United, because Southgate picks it. No, it's a fact. Southgate was like, there's injuries. Did you hear Southgate? He's like, there's injuries at Manchester United, so he's going to get more minutes. You got an England manager now begging Manchester United to comment on Manchester United injuries. It's
my days, crazy. Man. He played Jordan Henderson as well. I just can't believe that, man. I just can't. Honestly, this is why, for me, had Southgate dropped him and told him you're not part of the England squad, I think Maguire would have went. But because he knew I could still play for England and still play for and be a bench player, he's chilling.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing though, Saeed. When you get to say, let's put a time. When you get to December, we shouldn't necessarily have anybody injured. Everybody should be back. So you should have a full squad. Barring you don't pick up a couple of injuries along the way. We already know Lindelof's ahead of him in the pecking order. We know Martinez and Varane will start when both of them two are fit as a partnership. Shaw will be central centre-back ahead of him as well. So he's fifth choice there. And with the way that it moves, if you get to December, if Gareth Southgate consists to pick him over players who absolutely have a barnstormer and say, Italy, you have it, we say, Tomori or whatever, or you have it, say, with Mark Gahey, for example, if you want to take him to the Euros, the pressure that will be on Southgate, if he takes Harry Maguire to that tournament and it shits out because Harry Maguire's not been playing consistently or regularly, so he's not up to scratch to then play for the tournament, he is going to... It will be his last tournament. Let's not play still with it. I think with what, Gareth Southgate's looking at it is, this is his last chance. If he doesn't win the Euros, that's it. Like, let's be honest, he's not going to be... I don't think he'll make it for the World Cup. I'd be shocked.
No, this
So-
will be his last one for me.
The way that I look at it anyway with Maguire is, as you said, Said, if Gareth Southgate would have said, look, there's a chance that you won't make the squad if you're not consistently played, he would have gone. He wouldn't have given a shite. This £13 million payoff, mate, he wouldn't have given a damn about that. He wouldn't have cared. He'd have gone to the England camp and he'd have played. It's as simple as that. But because of how he's actually done it, and that Southgate, I'll still be called up. I'll still play the odd international here and there. And do you know what? Do you know what's even funnier? Eric Ten Hag, for people that don't know, had a conversation with Gareth Southgate post Qatar World Cup, where he consistently said to Gareth Southgate, "Why have you not given Marcus Rashford opportunities on international level after the consistency that he showed for Manchester United?" And do you know what Gareth Southgate said?
What?
He said competition's too hard in the England camp.
Wow.
Competition's too hard in the England camp.
Listen,
that's what he said.
but
So
Saeed,
breaking into the England camp, you can't do it apparently. That's Gareth Southgate.
listen,
For people that don't
it's just
know.
favourites have seen it. I'm not going to lie to you. After he resigns from England, Gareth Southgate is going to meet up with his favourites from England and just play in the park. Play maybe they can have a little charity Sunday league games.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, Nurdin, he'll be the manager of Soccer Aid. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. He'll go back to a good job.
Listen, this is where we're at. But I'm going to ask you, Saeed, right? Saeed and Tom, I'm going to go start with Saeed, right? So you've got Donny van de Beek, you've got Harry Maguire, Scott McTominay, Jadon Sancho. Who else is still at the club that the club briefed early on in the summer saying that they were on the list to be got rid of? So imagine having 4 of those players. What is that doing to the dressing room? Tom talked about just about 10 minutes ago about the importance of the captains and the leaders in the dressing room. But if you've got 4 players who are not, and Donny's not even been included in the Champions League list.
Yeah, that's sad as well. Yeah, I mean, I think they're saving it for Kobe Mino. Kobe Mino's going to be added. That's why I think. But again, if you're getting picked over, an 18-year-old, it's quite embarrassing for me. That's just the way I kind of look at it. But yeah, bro, listen, we got bigger pressure issues, man. We got Evans and Maguire in our Champions League squad. That's I think that's a crazy, like, genuinely, the last time Man United won a Champions League, Evans was in our squad, wasn't he? So the last time Man United won a Champions League. So maybe he might give us that good look. I don't know.
I'll tell you what Johnny Evans is. He's your lucky charm. That's what he is.
Right, there you go.
He's your lucky charm.
Johnny Evans, but that's where this football club is at right now. That we've got players like that. That's why I'm thinking. For me, there's greater problems at the football club in terms of sentiment, in terms of players who are just, kind of just baggage in it. They're just kind of like, what are you doing here? Like, what's your purpose? Have you got a squad at Man United where you can say, like, most of them have their purpose on the pitch? Like, some of them, you're looking at them thinking, what are you bringing to the team? Like, what are you bringing? Like, we bought Reguilon, and I still don't get the Reguilon signing, because I think for me, it would have been better now to give Alvaro Fernandez now solid game time until January. And if you don't believe he's good enough, you can sell him in January. You could easily say, you know what?
Saeed, I'm not going to lie to you. Reguilon is the only guy who knows why he came to Manchester United. Man's been all over the socials.
He's probably producing the statements. He's probably doing all the statements for Man United. You know what I mean? I don't know if they bought him because they said they needed someone. We're getting overloaded and we're getting overworked. So you know what? Forget playing for Man United. We need you to write statements. And he's an admin now. He's the admin officer for Manchester United. That's what he is right now. He's the admin person at Man United.
Did you not hear? Neil Ashton's resigned? Bring in Reguilon, don't you?
Sorry? Well, there you go. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, so he's resigned. So now this is his time to kind of come in and do what he needs to do. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like for me, it's one of them where I'm just like, yo, man, what is going on, man? What is going on?
You see what you just said there, Said, about why he's not giving Alvaro Fernandez that chance. That's why when everybody's crying out for Palestra to play, personally, I think he should play against Brighton. I don't think he's going to do it. I don't. I think he will play. He's either going to play Bruno out there on the right, and he's just going to put another midfielder in the middle, probably Eriksen, because we don't know about Amrabat's fitness and injury. But then, if he doesn't do that, he's just going to pull some sort of a badness. He'll put Rashford on the right, Højlund through the middle, and then he'll stick Garnacho on the left. He's not going to play. I will be shocked if he plays Palestra. He might give it, if say, like you say, you're 3-0 up at half time, you know, praise the Lord. You might bring him on then and give him a half or whatever. But at the end of the day, I've not seen Palestra when he's had a little bit of a cameo, but he's not actually performed. He's shown something. In that Spurs game, I know it was only a glimpse. He's the only player in about 3 years that I've seen take the ball to the byline and then stick the ball in the box. None of our wingers, I've not really seen him play to the byline. It's always cut inside and just cut inside, drive it into the box and hope for the best or get a shot off.
Palestra, when you actually deep it, Palestra for me is probably the most direct winger we've got at the club. I think even more direct than Garnacho. Garnacho's one of them where I think he can get greedy sometimes. He needs to give the ball, I think, for me sometimes and also be a bit more of a team player. I think Palestra, honestly, he's got no kind of bad intentions about him. He's just very, very pure. He just wants to get on the byline.
Yeah.
I think he reminds me of Antonio. I'm not saying he's like Antonio Valencia, but remember Antonio Valencia would just get on the byline and just put that ball in.
Yeah. Do you know something, Saeed?
He says what he says on the tin.
As soon as you said that, the one thing that I've always said is Manchester City have had this exact player for the last 10 years. They had it with David Silva and now they've got it with Bernardo Silva. That low centre gravity player, he can play on the wing, take the ball to the byline, stick a ball in the box. But do you know what? Even in the areas that they pick the ball up in, the acceleration that they can just drive away from you. For me, Camavinga is one of the best tacklers in Europe for me, in terms of an actual defensive player. Eriksen could not get anywhere away from Camavinga when he stuck a foot in. Palestra comes on, he's blitzing him, and he's blitzed him by 10 yards in about 4 seconds. And he's gone. See you later. But what was said about with Ten Hag is, I've not really known him apart from Garnacho in parts last season, where he's actually he's done something that's actually surprised us. I've not seen a surprise selection in a while. I mean, a good surprise selection anyway, where it's not somebody that maybe we've expected. For example, like if he put in Hannibal or somebody in the attacking midfield role at the weekend, that would be a shock for people. Yeah. If somebody like that got an opportunity over, say, Eriksen or whatever, or you like we're saying, you play Palestra, but the way Ten Hag is, and from what I know anyway, with a couple of people that I spoke to, Ajax fans and that, he's very shrewd. He doesn't like change. He's normally, even if something's not working, he'll still stick with it and he'll persevere. He's not really known for tinkering and changing that much, which I think in the long term, if he doesn't sort that out from him as a coach, I think it's probably going to be harsher on him that he's not going to have that consistency. But for me, anyway, I think we set up Ten Hag to fail from the beginning. I would not have given him a manager's title. That's the worst thing that we could have done, in my opinion. I think if you give him a head coach role and you let the scouting department run the football for you, but the thing is, he doesn't trust them. And thus, you get to the point now where everybody's sitting there. You know, when people go online and they talk about Murto madness and everything, yeah? When you actually deep it, Murto's not actually done any of the transfers this summer. When you actually think about it.
It's been led by him. It's been led. The actual talent idea and everything's been led by him. Yeah, it's been led by him.
Everything that we've done this summer, other people's done for him. Matt Hargreaves negotiates the deals for him. The scouting department recruited Højlund as the striker that they wanted. And then the rest of the signings, Mount and Amrabat and Onana, were all players that Ten Hag wanted and persisted that I want those players. So, really, John Murto's not done anything. And even when he's tried to do stuff, he's never brought the big players home. He didn't bring Frankie de Jong. He didn't bring Harry Kane that people were crying out for this summer. He's not brought any of the big players that the manager wanted. So it doesn't surprise me he's taken matters into his own hands. But
listen, 100%. Listen, we're going to come to the last bit, and I want to really get your nails on this. Just that, big up to everybody. Apparently, the game that Paul Pogba got caught doping didn't even play a single minute. Wow, that's crazy. Steve, you come.
That's what I don't know. But you don't have to be. You don't have to be playing. You just have to be.
You just in the squad. You've seen the squad. Yeah. Gareth Southgate is set to be sacked as manager of Middlesbrough. Gordon Strachan's been lined up Sports news, big up, slow sports news, big up,
Slow
Steve.
sports news. That used to be so funny back in the day. I don't know where that's gone now. That Twitter page.
Yeah,
I think they've
Manchester's
changed the
father
name
did
in
an
a bit,
interview.
I think.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, they were gonna send him on loan, but when they couldn't get other players out, I think he had to be kept. Listen, I want to come to this. This is the last bit to end on the show. I think it's the same question that I asked, but Manchester United, they should have, soon as that statement came out from Sancho, I think they should have facilitated for the player to be away from the football club and sorted it out in January. Now they haven't done that.
Of course.
They haven't done that. So where do we go from here, Saeed, in terms of the Sancho?
I think for me, obviously, we need to have a crackdown on the situation, whether that's the players coming forward, whether that's just in general. Like there needs to be a situation where the manager and everyone needs to come together and basically come to a peace. There needs to be some sort of peace. What do I say? Peace talks, ceasefire. Everything that we kind of look at. There needs to be something there. And ultimately nobody wins in this situation. Nobody. The manager doesn't win. The player doesn't win. So for you for us to kind of do this, it wouldn't make sense, guys. It really wouldn't, to kind of prolong this. I think for me the worst thing that could happen is Sancho isn't in the squad again for the game. That would be very, very, very bad. People are saying Sancho will push for a move in United in January after crisis. What with Eric Ten Hag failed to reach a solution. Is that true, people? I don't know. Sometimes Daily Star, is that a good enough statement? I don't know, man. Let
Yeah,
me
well,
see that.
sometimes
I don't know if that's
it's reliable. Just since Jadon Sancho will push to leave Manchester United in January after the club price talks with Eric Ten Hag failed to reach a resolution.
I think that's sensationalism. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think they're trying to make us, like today. I heard a story that that apparently the Ten Hag is not happy that the tweet is still pinned. Listen, man, like anyone can make that story up and everyone can say, "Oh, that's true." Whether we think it's directly coming from the club, or whether it's people just making up sensational news, I don't know. I really don't know.
Clickbait, clickbait FC. There we go.
Yeah,
Of course they're
so
gonna
feed
clickbait.
it onto
You
it
said
though.
it before, yeah. But we give them the reason. We give them the reason though. When the club's not run properly, what happens? You give them the reason.
Well, there you go. You give them the reason, and you kind of look at it in that. So I think for me, there needs to be talks. I think there will have been talks, but he needs to be in this. Listen, I'm not going to control what the manager does, but I would say get him back in the squad, put arm around his shoulder, and say, "Listen, son, what I mean, this is your career now. I'm not here to stop your career from becoming a bad career. I don't do that. I manage young talent. You've seen our Ajax, like I don't hamper career. It's down to you. Now you go and show. Anthony's out now, so you go and show me. There ain't no more excuses. He's out now. He's under investigation. You go now show why you should have been the one playing. And ultimately, I think this is more pressure for Sancho more than anyone. I don't know what you guys think, but imagine now you're coming back. You've got to deliver. You've got to say, right, I'm going to do it. Go out there and perform. That's all. I think that's all you can do. Just shut up people by performing. Don't think anything else, that you do outside the football pitch will affect you in any way. Just do you.
I'll come in there just quickly, and I'll say to Jarvis. Jarvis says nobody wins. Ten Hag can lose the respect of the group. Player power has been problems, but you know what? But the club didn't get the player out. The club didn't get the player out. So when the player is not being sold, he's not in the manager's pressing, and if we believe in Ten Hag, he down to in training. Who does the blame go? The blame goes to the club because the manager don't fancy the guy, doesn't fancy him. Then that's something that happens within football clubs. Players who the manager don't fancy, down tool in training. That happens. To me, you should never down tool, and it's unacceptable. But that's where we're at. So it comes back to the owners. It comes back to the owners. It comes back to the bankers and the board. Well, why is that?
There you go.
Why is that, Randy Savage? Why is that? Player power is too much. Who emboldens players to have that player power? The owners, mate.
Also, where's the player officer? Where's the, I always say the director of football, this is where he makes his money now. Director of football needs to come and say, yo, listen, I'm going to sort this out now. If I'm dealing with all footballing matters, I know it's between the player and the manager, but he needs to now take an active role now, not passive role. an active role, man. Have an active role, and you know what? You might just, you know what? Look at fans might say, you know what? Fair play is coming here. We resolved it, and we found out through the media, through credible sources, that John Myrtle was a key figure in the kind of resolution and just in general. I think people will give a bit more respect, and you know what? And that will be fair. But right now, I mean, a lot of the work that Ten Hag is doing, like he needs help. He needs people that are gonna
Of course he
steady
does.
the ship. If
Of
you got
course.
people like Richard Arnold coming out with dodgy statements and putting out statements every minute, it's not good, is it? Because Ten Hag must
No.
be thinking, hold on a minute, because his son, Ten Hag's son, or people around him, or his wife will be like, "Oh, have you heard about the statement?" Ten Hag will think, "What are you talking about? I've just come back from a walk or a bike ride. What statement? Is that while I've just been out?"
I've seen him, by the way. I've seen him and his
So,
wife cycling. Big up. If you know, you know. Alien Tunnel said somewhere Ralph Ranier is pissing himself laughing. Well, he's like, thank God for that. I didn't get further involved in this. Tom, where does the blame lie for the Sancho thing? Because the club doesn't got the backbone. Bankers don't have the backbone. They don't. They don't. They see the player as an asset. In the Glazonomics, they see Jadon Sancho worth that much. Is the asset to that. So they don't. But they briefed. Neil Ashton briefed all these buddies in the media, in football media, that he was on the list. So why didn't they sell him then? Why put it out there and not follow through?
They didn't get any offers. That's pretty. I'll be real. They didn't get any offers, and the reason why they didn't get any offers is clubs will always be interested in players like Sancho because it could just be the environment. It could just be the club, the league, whatever, and he could go somewhere else and blitz it up like he did when he went from City's academy to Borussia Dortmund. So I think it's a difficult one for me personally. I think that Ten Hag will offer him a way back, but it's going to come with a consequence. And it's going to be a staggered comeback. And what I mean by staggered comeback is it's going to be like, I think the way Ten Hag will deal with it is that they'll keep it in-house and they'll solve whatever's gone wrong, because at the end of the day, as a player till January, you can't just exile him off his, £350,000 per week or whatever, amount of money per week. He's one of the highest earners. You can't have it where you have two wingers. We know what's happened with Anthony and Sancho that have cost you over £150 million and you can't play, and you're not going to play either of them. Like, that can't happen. I'm sorry, it can't. Not when you've spent that much money. Anthony's got the reasoning because of the allegations and everything, and Sancho, well, the way I would personally deal with the Ten Hag thing is, if I'm a disciplinarian and I look at it from that, I want to send a statement to the squad that, look, if you don't cut your weight and you want to call me out, I said from the very beginning, if you're going to call me out through your agent, or if you've got the actual bollocks to then say it with your name attached to it, and you've still pinned this comment regarding me, the worst thing that Jadon Sancho hasn't done is he hasn't actually named the manager. He's just quoted saying the coaching staff. I respect the coaching staff and the team and my teammates around me. But the way I would deal with it is I would take it from Jadon Sancho. I'd meet with him. I'd discuss what's gone through. And I'll say, look, this is, as Saeed said, look, this is your career. I'm not going to stop you if you want to go and express your career elsewhere. And you think you're bigger and better than this football club. And you think you can do better with a different coach than me. But I will offer you a way back, Jadon. You will not feature in the squad for Brighton. You won't even be in the stadium. You will watch the game from home. You will watch on television. And I'm going to tell you a game plan of what I want you to do. And you're going to watch it for that 90 minutes on TV. And when you come in then the next morning, Monday morning, I want to see what I've told you in that Brighton game. Whomever's going to play that role, I want you to do carbon copy what they do in that game. And if he plays Palestri, take the ball to the byline. Drifting field. Accelerate. Actually run at people. I don't care if you lose the ball and it goes out of touch. I'd rather you try something than play the safe option. Back to Wan-Bissaka at right back. Back to Delo, whoever plays. Or infield to Fernandes. Recycle the ball. Try something. Show me something that I haven't seen before. But for me, I wouldn't even say to Sancho, if people normally quote saying that, put him in the stands or whatever for the game, and I wouldn't even do that. I would say, watch the game from home. This is the game plan for the Munich game, and you might be in contention with it. And then from there, if you then want to go for it, big up.
Yeah, big up, Sai. Listen, before you go, bro, just to say, what you expecting from Brighton? What are you expecting?
Listen, man, I expect, for me, 3 points. I expect, just to be physical, aggressive, but also I expect I think the players will come out and put a positive performance because they're thinking, you know what, we want to stop all the commotion in the background. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think the players will put out a performance that, you know what, like, we're united in that regards. But again, like I said to you, there's one thing saying you're united, there's one thing playing well and against Brighton team. So we've got to respect the team, we've got to respect the performance, but ultimately we've got to come out with a result, man. That can only wins only silence doubters. Wins only.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying, win can only silence you. I still think United will win. We might edge it, but I think we'll win. But that's just me. Maybe I'm deluded.
Say, let them know when you're next live, innit?
Yeah, big up, man. I'm probably live tomorrow. If not, just check my United page, and you never know when I'm live, people. So yeah, man. Big up to everyone, man.
Well, that's if not another statement has come out. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Until, every little statement, mate.
Have you got the notifications on, lads? Have you got the club notifications?
Yeah, get your notifications on, man. Get your notifications on, man.
This is how it is, people. It's big. It's big love. Big up, Saturday. Listen, enjoy the rest, man. Enjoy the rest. Love and light. Tom, always a pleasure. And big up to you as well for giving us that insight. At the end of the day, Sancho needs to be punished. He has to be punished.
What would you do, Nuruddin, before we close? I'll ask you.
I will fine him for 2 weeks' wages. Tell him to take the States the minimum. Apologize to the manager, the players, and the football club. And then I would say to him, show me what you can do in training. And then if your training is good enough, you get back in the team.
I think while
that's what I would do.
Yeah, I think while the Anthony situation's off, I think he's kicking himself, if I'm honest. If he's not, thinking in my head, why did I do that? Or like, I'm such an idiot. Why did I actually say that? Because if I'd have just kept shut over the international break, got me head down for 2 weeks. He's had 2 weeks off. He's not with the England camp. Put some fitness in, put some working with the coaches at Carrington or whatever, and then go from there. And you know what, right? He might have been in better preparation to play Brighton. But again, we don't. I think a big part of players' careers is you don't know who's advising these players. That's the one thing that I would say. You don't know who's advising them. And if any of his inner circle or his entourage have told him to put that statement out there, I'd be absolutely amazed. Absolutely amazed. But again, like we say with Ten Hag, he's dealt with bigger players than Jadon Sancho, is all I'm going to say. He dealt with Cristiano Ronaldo, Maguire, the criticisms that he's got from both of those. So I think he can deal with Jadon Sancho, but
I think, well, it depends, Windy. Pick up Windy Grant. It depends. He used to go in the kitty. And then they used to go out for Christmas or party or the party at the end of the party.
No, give it to a charity.
But sometimes he goes to charities, doesn't it? The money goes to charities.
Yeah. That's what I would do. Give it to a local. Give it to the United, Food Bank Trust
Foundation,
or
United
Foundation. Yeah, give it to something like that, and help the local community. I'm not sending Jadon Sancho on an espionage trip. Send him to a local school or something, like football clubs do. Community projects and that, and then really embed him with how Manchester United, the actual club and how it would work. Really embed him in the actual city. Little kids who will say to him, oh, you're my favourite player, this, that, the other, or whatever. Give him some inspiration. That's what I would do. But
Facts. Listen, Tom, big up to you. Love and light. Liverpool FC says, I would take Sancho. Give us 55 million, you can have him. No problem. No problem. We'll forget the club. I'll sort that deal out. Me and Tom will sit down with Liverpool and sort it out. Make sure he goes through. Listen, it's been big up to all the therapy army, massive love and light. It is what it is. It's love. It's always love. It's always like. Congratulations to every one of you, therapy army. Smash a like on your way out. And this is your channel, innit? You know what? No other YouTubers plays with make sure everybody's involved and it's interactive for every time we go live. But Tom, love, light, I hope you're well. Keep out of the rain. And yeah, the winter is here, people. But smash a like on your way out, people. And we're going to be live, hopefully maybe Thursday for the Thursday night for the match preview. Manchester United versus Brighton. So catch us then. Love and light, people. Big up. The rest of it is a circus. I predicted it. I told you all the club was toxic from day dot. The bankers out, Glazers out, always, people. It is what it is. Big up. It's just me. Listen, you're congratulating yourself, bro. You need to congratulate yourself. Big up to everybody. Love and light. Yeah. Listen, love and light to everybody in Morocco. Seriously. My heart breaks for the people of Morocco, innit? Earthquake and everything. And yeah, big up to our friends in America and the consequences of those actions. We still live with those results of what happened because of 9/11. So hold tight to the families and victims still looking for justice. Big up to you and everybody. Love and light. Go and check out Sophia's Talks Football. Make sure you give her a sub and go check her content out. She must be absolutely sick of. We're all sick of it as United fans. We just want the football back. Yeah, big up to Jarvis and Man UFC, Mick, Man UFC Realist TV. Go and check it out. Give us a shout out. We're going live at 9 p.m. Man UFC Realist TV. There we go. So make sure you go and check out the guys. Yeah, listen, it's not going to be predictions. We're going to be going live to do a match preview properly. And I'm going to hopefully try to find a Brighton fan. But if any of you know any Brighton supporters that want to come on the channel and talk, do a match preview with us on Thursday, let me know. Tag me and anything on the Twitter. That's the tag. That guy, Red Devil, Mr. Structure, if you don't know already. Make sure you check out Tom. Make sure you follow Saeed on his socials, Saeed TV. And Tom, make sure you follow Tom on Tom Journalist One. I'm big up to Tom as well with a sale update as well. But I'm just so sick of the sale update, Tom. I'm just sick of it. Until these guys go, you know what?
Yeah. Again,
but big
at the end of the day, listen, for any fans that are going to the Brighton game, make your voices known. Be a group, be a community, and you know what?
You know what, Tom? Listen, are you going to be free on Thursday night, Tom? Are you going to be free on Thursday night?
Thursday night, I'll be free, yeah.
Yeah, jump on, no problem. We can do a proper match preview then. We'll galvanize, me and our Tom will galvanize the fan base to give it their all and get behind the boys, man, yeah? Always, I've been Nuruddin. I'm the Zebra specialist. Always, of course, you got to be on there, Jarvis, without saying. Well done to AK. Listen, it's well done to the community. This is a community, mate. Well done to the community. Love and light, people. Win, lose, draw, Glazers out, bankers out. We just hope to go back to talking about the football pitch, and hopefully we can do that soon. But mix me out with Johnny Evans and Maguire at the back, mate. I'm not having it.
Hold tight.
I'm not having that.
We need a new nickname. What's the new nickname that we can have for them?
Hold tight FC. That's what we are. That's what we are with those two at the back, man. Big up to Khalifa Medina. That's Chivita United Real Therapy. Love and light. Take care, people. And it is what it is, people. Breaking news. Let's hope that Paul Pogba, it gets found out, it gets investigated, and hopefully you might have an explanation for this. But take care. Love, light, peace. See you on Thursday for the... If anything news worthwhile, we'll go live on Wednesday night. But let us know. Let's see you on Thursday for the preview, which will hopefully we're going to be talking about the game other than any more bloody statements from Manchester United. I'm not getting involved in this because none of these things have gone to court yet. So we'll see what happens. But at the end of the day, Anthony's fighting for his footballing career. That's why he's going mad on social media, releasing a statement and leaking documents here and there, right, left, and centre. Love and light, people. Take care.
Peace.
Good night. Tom Journalist One, people. Tom Journalist One.